I'd like to remind everyone, if anybody wishes to speak, please turn in your speaker slip as soon as possible before we start. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. We're ready to begin tonight's Gardena City Council meeting for June the 11th, 2019. Madam City Clerk, will you call the roll, please?
Madam Mayor, all members of the City Council are present.
Thank you. Attorney Whalen, do we have anything to report from closed session?
No reportable action was taken.
Okay, thank you. So at this time, I'm going to ask if everyone can please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Tonight, it will be led by Jalen Norris and Austin Norris. Immediately following that, if you can continue standing for the invocation, as it will be led tonight by the Reverend Nathan J. Sessions.
Place your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated.
Well, actually, continue standing.
Never mind.
May we bow our heads for a moment of prayer. Eternal God, our Father. Father, we come before you. Father, we come before you because you're God all by yourself. Father, we come before you asking you to come in and rest with us, commune with us, touch each and every person here, Father, for we are your children. In the mighty name of your Son, Jesus Christ, is my prayer. All the people of God say amen, amen. And amen.
You may be seated. If I could have Jalen and Austin come back to the front. So tonight's Pledge of Allegiance was led by Jalen Norris and Austin Norris. Jalen is in the 9th grade and Austin is in the 8th grade. Both attend Rogers Middle School in Lawndale. Jalen is 14 years old, Austin is 13, and they are the children of the Reverend Nathaniel J. Sessions. So I'm going to begin by, let's see, Jalen, you're the oldest. So how about we have you introduce your parents tonight, or who came with you?
The people who came with me is my mom, my pop, and Armor in the back. He's a friend.
Okay, where are they at? We want to recognize you. Stand up and everyone give them a round of applause. Thank you for bringing them out tonight. And then Austin, I'm going to leave it to you. Is there anything you'd like to say?
No.
No? Okay, well, let me turn it back over to your big sister. Is there anything you'd like to say?
I want to say thank you for letting us lead you in a Pledge of Allegiance.
Okay, well, thank you. You guys did a great job, and we look forward to you guys coming back in the future. Everyone, please give them a round of applause. So if we could have the Reverend Sessions please come back to the front. So tonight's invocation was led by the Reverend Nathaniel J. Sessions, who is the senior pastor at Enlightened Motorcycle Ministries, which is located at 1025 Marine Avenue. Pastor Nathaniel Nate Sessions was ordained as a minister in 2010, and in 2011 founded Enlightened Motorcycle Ministries, where he serves as the senior pastor and the national pastor. Pastor Sessions was born and raised in Los Angeles, where he also received his formal education. After high school, he served in the U.S. Marine Corps Reserve. While in the secular workforce, he received his calling to the ministry. Pastor Nate then pursued additional schooling, earned an Associate of Arts degree in Biblical Studies, both a Bachelor's and a Master's of Arts degree in Biblical Counseling, as well as obtaining credentials as a certified life coach. He and his wife, LaTanya Sessions, are also certified facilitators of the Prepare and Enrich program. Since 2011, Pastor Nate has also worked as a parent partner for the County of Los Angeles program called the Wraparound Program, providing family support and developing a plan of care for at-risk youth. Through this process, many teens and youth have graduated from the Wraparound Program and are now proactive and productive youth in the community, and who are seeking higher education to ensure that they are successful in life. So, Reverend Sessions, would you like to say anything?
Yes, Mayor. I would like to just thank everyone for inviting us, and we look forward to coming here to the council meeting, and we feel like we're like furniture around here. Come on, somebody. I would also like to thank my wife for coming and supporting us. If y'all can give my wife a hand of praise. And I also love to come see you guys, and I love seeing the chief right here. He always got a joke for me.
Well, thank you. We do appreciate you leading us tonight in our invocation, and we look forward to you as well coming back. So thank you.
You're welcome.
So now we're going to move on to our presentations. As our custom now is, we honor veterans at all of our city council meetings. So tonight we're going to be honoring Miss Dorothy Leona Lee Hull, and she was selected by Councilmember Mark Henderson. So Councilmember Henderson, would you like to say anything before I read her bio?
Before you read her bio, thank you, Madam Mayor, first of all. Before you read her bio, I just want to say, Ms. Hull, Lee, as you're nice to be called, like to be called, just to say we want to thank you for your service and everything. It's good that we can recognize a female veteran and everything, so we're definitely trying to do our part as a city to make sure that we try to touch and reach everybody. But I want to say from the bottom of my heart, as well as the council, thank you for your service, and I'll come down and give you your coin, and then please give us a few words after the mayor. Thank you.
Okay, so her bio reads as follows. She was born in Kansas City, Kansas. Ms. Hill is 80 years old and a longtime resident of Gardena. Her military service includes, at the age of 18, Ms. Dorothy Leona Beach reported for duty with the U.S. Air Force on October 15, 1956, and served until honorably discharged on August 10, 1959. Her rank was that of Airman Second Class, serving as a communications center specialist with the 248th Airways and Air Communications Service, which is AACS, a worldwide system of navigational aids first installed during World War II to support the Military Air Transport Service, which is also known as MATS. After Hull's basic training, she received specialized training to work as a teletype operator. It was while serving at Carswell Air Force Base in Texas that she spent several years reading the cryptic holes and dots of the teletype tape and performed so well that she was assigned to a select group that would have to set up mobile communications network if our country ever went to war. So upon her honorable discharge in 1959, Ms. Hull immediately found work in the communications with Pan Am Airlines, serving that carrier for over 32 years, during which time she married and moved to Gardena with her husband and 3 children. Following her 32 years with Pan Am, she went on to work for United Airlines for another 10 years, then retired permanently. So the City Council is pleased to honor Ms. Hull for her exemplary military service in the U.S. Air Force. So upon receiving tonight's recognition, Ms. Hull will also receive a special coin that was presented by Councilmember Henderson, specifically designed for tonight's honor. Along with that, she'll receive complimentary pictures as well as a DVD of tonight's meeting with all of the council members, as well as her picture will be featured on the corner of Redondo Beach Boulevard and Westerns. So congratulations, Ms. Hull. You may have the microphone.
I just want to say thank you to everybody. I don't know that I deserve all of this, but I mean, I'm nobody special. I'm just me. But it's nice, and it's nice to be recognized and to be applauded and appreciated. Thank you so very much, all of you, each and every one of you. Thank
Thank you. And Ms. Hull, hold on one
Yes.
second. I forgot we have one more award to give you.
We do have a certificate of recognition from California Legislative Assembly. Reads as follows: in recognition and celebration of your dedication and service to the United States of America, and with sincere appreciation for your selfless acts of courage, signed by our Assembly member El Muratsusi, 66th District, on June 11, 2019.
Okay, and we'll go ahead and take that on and present it to her. Thank you,
Thank you.
and congratulations again. So next, we have a proclamation tonight, and it's Pause for the Pledge of Allegiance, entitled 21 Days to Honor America. So June 14th through July 4th, 2019. The American flag is a powerful and universal symbol of our national heritage and unity. The Pledge of Allegiance has become a way for all Americans to celebrate and reaffirm that heritage. It is a statement of our shared belief and aspirations. The pause for the Pledge of Allegiance is a call for Americans everywhere, regardless of race, age, religion, national origin, or geographical or political differences, to take time to recite the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. On Friday, June 14th, members of the community are invited to participate in a special Flag Day celebration sponsored by the Gardena Beautification Committee, beginning at 11 a.m. in front of the Nakoka Community Center. At this time, everyone will join with millions of citizens across our great nation when we take time to reflect on our country's freedom as we pause for the Pledge of Allegiance. And to further demonstrate our community's solidarity and fellowship, I request, as it is our city's annual custom, that Gardena's walkway of flags be flown every day from Flag Day, which is Friday, June the 14th, through Independence Day, which is Thursday, July 4th, to emphasize and celebrate the 21 days to honor America. Next, we have a proclamation. If we could get State Brewing Company to just come to the podium tonight. So the proclamation that they're going to be receiving tonight states, whereas craft beer is a $27.6 billion industry in the United States, and craft brewers are small business owners, entrepreneurs, and artisans who create internationally respected beers and provide jobs that strengthen local communities. And whereas currently Gardena is home to State Brewing Company, LLC, Gardena's first craft beer establishment, which opened in February of 2018. And whereas during Craft Beer Week, in conjunction with the celebration of Los Angeles Beer Week, it is appropriate that Gardena acknowledge and celebrate the significant and growing positive impact that craft beer industry is having on our community. Whereas to further observe Craft Beer Week in Gardena, a special day of celebration will be held for beer lovers of Gardena, as well as those of all the South Bay area communities. On Wednesday, June 19th, 2019, will be hosted by State Brewing Company, LLC. And whereas the City of Gardena is pleased to be home to craft breweries which are independently owned and committed to investing in Gardena. So we proclaim June 15th through the 23rd, 2019 to be Craft Beer Week, and in the City of Gardena, and call upon all of our citizens to recognize the significant contributions of our local breweries to our community. So if you'd like to say anything at this time, or not.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. I think it's important just for everyone to know that the most important thing we do is provide a safe place for people to drink beer. And if anything, taste beer, not drink beer. I think in a community like this, there's not many places to do so. It's a craft amongst all things, but the community knowing that there's a place to bring your family, your dog, breweries offer that. It's not somewhere where you have to hide in the dark and watch a TV and get drunk. So, you know, I think that the day, Gardena Day on the 19th is, hopefully everyone can make it and everyone can be a part of it. And I want to express, and we want to express that we're a part of the community, and we want everyone to know that any way we can help too, we're here. Thank you for this.
All right,
Appreciate
thank
it.
you.
Thank you so much.
Now, if we can have the representative from Zimmix to come forward as well. So we also have a proclamation, and it's pretty much the same thing, so I'm not going to read everything because it states the same information, but I would like to emphasize the fact that Zimmix Craft Exploration is a beer establishment which opened in April of 2018. And as was mentioned, because this is Craft Beer Week, we're pleased that you chose Gardena to be your home, and we appreciate how you benefit our community through jobs and just as entrepreneurs within our community. So again, we're encouraging everybody to come out and to support both of your local businesses, and we thank you so much for being within our community. So you two have received a proclamation from our city as well, and if there's anything you would like to say.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Councilman. We appreciate you accepting us into the city, and we hope we are a positive influence. Stefan said some great stuff that goes for us as well, so I am going to piggyback on him a little bit. Please come by and visit us at Zimmix too. We have some great beers and a nice environment, also dog-friendly and kid-friendly as well. Come down and see us. LA Beer Week's coming up. It's going to be a lot of good stuff going on. Check out all the websites. It's going to be a lot of fun.
And a quick question, I think you're going to be introducing Munich Hills, is that correct? Am I pronouncing this right?
Pardon me?
Never mind, maybe it's the wrong
No.
memo I have.
What did you say again?
Introducing your new Munich Hills lager?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine. It's
I'm pronouncing it wrong, probably.
It's pronounced Munich Helles.
Munich
As in the city, Munich, Germany. Munich Helles Lager.
Okay.
Yeah, we are going to introduce that this next week,
Okay.
along with an Imperial Russian Stout.
Sounds good. All right, well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
All right, please give me a round of applause as well. Okay, so at this time, we're going to move on to appointments. Does any member of the council have any appointments to be made to any commissions, committees, boards, or council at this time? If not, we're going to move on to our consent calendar. Does any member of the council wish to discuss any items on the consent calendar separately? If not, can I get a motion to approve the consent calendar as is?
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Madam City Clerk, there was a motion made by Councilmember Medina and a second by Councilmember Henderson. Will you call the roll, please?
Councilmember Medina,
Yes.
Councilmember Henderson,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Cascanian,
Yes.
Councilmember Tanaka,
Yes.
Mayor Serta.
Yes. Okay, we are going to move on to oral communications tonight. I believe we have about 15 speakers here. So tonight during oral communications, they will be heard for 1/2 hour and/or before 8:30 p.m. Or if it goes longer than that, at the conclusion of the last agenda item, at the last agenda items, we will continue oral communications at that time. So before I call up our speakers, I just want to remind everybody that you are to limit your remarks to 3 minutes. This right here is your timekeeper. So when you see the yellow light come on, that will alert you that your 2 minutes are up. When the red light comes on, that will alert you that your 3 minutes are up. So I just appreciate your cooperation in advance. I'm sorry. No. Okay, so our first speaker tonight is Ben Butler, and then after that is Ms. Fariza Almaro. Is Ben Butler? Oh, okay, here we go.
Sorry. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the council. My name is Benjamin Butler. I'm a Gardena resident. I live at 2812 West 146th Street, 146 in Watkins. I'd like to speak on a pressing problem. There's a house at 14522 Watkins, the northeast corner of where I live, and it's the shrubbery next to the building is very heavy, and I have seen people in there in the early evening. I've seen a couple of dogs in there. I've seen a couple of dog walkers walk by and go into the bushes and relieve themselves and their dog. And it's my wife and I, we walk our dogs, and I think it's important to contact these owners of the building, of the house at 14522 Watkins, and tell them to clean that area up, if you'll notice it. And they don't seem to do it. I didn't approach them, but I think it's most important because it's a hazard and it's dangerous. And with the coyotes running around, well, we haven't seen any in our block, and with the people who don't have homes, they could be in there, and like I say, it's dangerous. And I wish the council could address that right away, because my wife doesn't feel comfortable, and I don't feel comfortable. And I was wondering if you can get some action going on to get that homeowner to clean that area out. And thank you very much for hearing me. Any questions from me? Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Next is Ms. Farizia Almaro, and then after that will be Ms. Kimberly Haddon.
Good evening. I'm the mother of Kenneth Ross Jr. I'm here because I seen a video that shows the officer shooting on April 11th, 2018 that killed my son. The officer had used the AR-15 military assault weapon. I did sign something that I cannot disclose information about the video. So all I was here to speak about is because I did see it, and I need everyone to be able to see this video. I'm here because I would like the video to be able for us to get access to it so we could see what happened with my son that was murdered. You know, since that happened, which was over 12 or 13 months ago, no police report. We have not been given a police report. We have not been giving any information to this shooting that happened with my son. This officer that shot my son is still working. Nothing has happened with him. I would like to have some answers of why he's still working and why this is even going on. And like I said, this happened on April 11, 2018, and it's been a long time. I have no information about this, and I would like to have this to be addressed so the video that is out can be, I can have access to, and people can have access to it to see what happened with my son, because allegedly he had a gun, and that's not the circumstance. And why is my son murdered and gone and got killed for no reason by the Gardena police? That's why I'm here, and that's pretty much all I have to say.
Okay, I'm just going to make this statement once tonight. First off, what happened is tragic all around, and our thoughts remain with the Ross family during this time. So any force of any kind that was used, it was important to us that with the city that everybody knows what happened. So we do have the police report available in the back with the agendas. The Los Angeles County Sheriff Department Homicide Unit is investigating all deadly use force incidents for us. So we want any outside agency, we want an outside agency to investigate. We believe that this allows for an unbiased and transparent investigation. The district attorney made a final determination that the officer acted lawfully, and we understand the importance of an open and transparent investigation. We will make the body cam footage available to the public. We are currently working on that, and we are still in a civil process, so we can't speak about an ongoing litigation, but we will make the whole case available to the public as soon as we can. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. So
Mayor
next,
Serta.
yes.
The district attorney's investigation was just recently released, and there's copies in the back. We provided approximately 30 of them. So if you have a need for more, hopefully you can share back there. They are in the back.
Okay. And the only thing I ask is you are allowed to have your signs here, but please don't block anybody behind you. So if you would stand to the side if you're going to hold them up. If you're holding them at this level here, that's fine, but please don't block anybody else. You can have them, but stand to the side. So next we're going to have Ms. Haddon. And then after Ms. Hadley, Shirley Conley.
Good evening, Mayor Serta, elected officials, and residents of Gardena. I am Kimberly Haddon, here to present to you news and updates from Sarah High School. We have 3 Sarah students who were awarded the All-American in sports. I will start with baseball. Makai Backstrom received the All-American in sports and received this full scholarship to Fresno State, so congratulations to Mr. Backstrom. And we'll also like to announce Damone Hale, who also received the All-American Sports in baseball, and he received a full scholarship to the state of Michigan State. So congratulations to those 2 seniors. And our third All-American is Jasmine Frost, and she received her All-American in sports in track and field. So we are excited for those 3 Cavaliers. And because this is graduation season, on June 6th, we had our commencement ceremonies. So congratulations to all of our graduates. We like to announce we had 90% 4-year college acceptance. We have students who received acceptance, who will be admitted into and going to UC Berkeley and UCLA. So we're very proud of our graduating seniors. And as we look forward to our incoming class, we have awarded 12 7th graders honorary scholarships. So they will receive $2,000 for each of their 4 years at Sarah High School. So we are excited with our incoming freshman class. And for those who are looking to get a head start in their academics or trying to get caught up, summer school begins on June 24th. So if you are interested in enrolling at Sarah High School for summer school, please visit our website to get enrolled and for more information. And for our incoming freshman class, we have the high school placement test, which will be on July 13th. And this is required for all 9th grade students coming in. And we have prospective student interviews. And once again, to enroll in that, please contact Sarah High School and get the information from our website. And on behalf of our principal, Mr. Jeff Guzman, I wish you peace and blessings, and thank you so much.
Next, we'll have Shirley Conley, and then after that, Pastor Eddie Jones Jr.
Hi, I'm Shirley Conley, and I'm back again regarding the fireworks. I want to thank you for what you all did last year in banning them, but I think we all knew that it wasn't going to be long before the fireworks company filed a lawsuit against it. But you may not be able to stop them from selling them, but what you can do is control the decibels of it. I suggested that last time. I have some copies of the different decibels, and a decibel of 85 is considered damaging to your hearing. Fireworks are 150 decibels, so you could pass an ordinance that simply says the fireworks cannot be over 85 decibels, and that would pretty much eliminate everything except the swizzle sticks. And it's not going to affect the sales of the fireworks company, so they shouldn't really object to that. But the reason for doing that is there's 2 things. It's vets and it's pets. The veterans that have been in Iraq and other places where bombs are going off all the time, the last thing they want to hear are these fireworks that simulate the bombs. You know, I know a lot of them are suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder. So we need to take care of that. And the pets, it's obviously that most of them don't like the fireworks, especially the loud ones. I don't think anybody objects to the visual part of fireworks. It's the noise level. So I'm just throwing that out there for you as a suggestion to solve the problem. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next is Pastor Eddie Jones Jr., and then after that is Sylvia Gutierrez.
Good evening to this very distinguished board of councilmen, councilwomen, mayor, chief of police, and all staff, district attorney. I'm Pastor Eddie Jones, president of the Los Angeles Civil Rights Association. All human beings have a human right, a constitutional right, a civil right to live. Unfortunately, Kenneth Ross Jr. was not able to have that choice. His choice was unfortunately taken away by projectiles, and it only takes one projectile to take the life of a human being. A human being can be black, white, red, green, or any color, but everyone should have a right to live. That right should not be taken away because you assume, or an assumption, or an accusation by a radio call that an individual has done something that is inappropriate or incorrect. Everyone should be giving his day in court. But if you're shot and you're wounded and you go to the hospital, it's okay. But if you're shot and you're shot over and over again, you can never tell your story. That means that someone else will tell your story. And the person that might tell your story was never at the shooting, did not see the shooting, and will never be there with Kenneth Ross Jr. when he was taking his last breath, saying, "Mom, Dad, family, somebody help me, please. I'm leaking blood. I'm bleeding out. I'm dying. No one's here to help me or hold my hand." Now we have a mother who's lost her son. We have a city who's protecting their own, which is the right thing to do, but it's also the right thing to make sure that this family is taken care of for the loss of their loved one. And I don't put the blame on the officer, but I put the blame on whoever was firing that weapon, and then whoever pulled up and started firing their weapon. It only takes one projectile. Now here's the deal. There's civil rights, constitutional rights, and human rights. And the United States of America wrote this Constitution years ago, and it is applicable to every human being. Let's do the right thing, City of Gardena. Let's make sure that this mother, this family, and that the name Kenneth Ross Jr. will always be remembered, never to be forgotten. Put yourself in Kenneth Ross Jr.'s shoes. Be the parent of Kenneth Ross Jr. Then you'll see and feel what this mother feels. Thank you very much to this distinguished board.
Okay, next is Sylvia Gutierrez, and then after that, Hathing Haraj.
Good evening. Which one's the mic? Okay, good evening. My issue is not nearly as dramatic as the last one, but again, it's important to me. My name is Sylvia Gutierrez, and I'm here on behalf of my mother. She's the original homeowner on Gramercy Place, and the tree she has in front of her home is the original tree and has been designated to be cut down for a sidewalk improvement project. We spoke to the engineer, and the tree engineer gave us just one day to get an arborist out to evaluate if the tree could be saved. And unfortunately, we are in touch with an arborist, but they cannot come tomorrow. They can't come till early next week. So I'm hoping that one of you could speak to the engineer, Kevin Thomas, and ask if we could have a delay, because of course, once the tree is cut, that's it. You can't bring back the tree. So I didn't know who to go to. I did email the city council, but I didn't get a reply. Who would I speak to about that?
Mr. City Manager.
Ma'am, our director, Joseph Cruz, is sitting right there, and he's the person you need to talk to, and he'd be more than happy to help you with your situation.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, next is Hathon Faraj, and then after that, Mateo Nagasi.
Good afternoon, Mayor, or good evening, Mayor and City Council members, City Attorney, City Manager, and City Clerk. Thank you for taking the time. I am here to speak on behalf of Fuzia Almaru, the mother of Kenneth Ross. I'm her attorney. Without debating the conduct of the responsible officer, I leave that for the evidence to bear it out. But it's important, it's critical that this City Council, the Mayor, understand that first and foremost, the officers of this city and every other city are public servants. They're our servants. They are funded by our tax dollars. The equipment they use is paid for by us. The product of that equipment, the videos, is ours. And the videos, just pause for a minute. There are many, many fine police officers. I served for 22 years in the Marine Corps. Many of my brothers and sisters serve on police departments. They are fine men and women. But there are some bad apples. Those videos are the best evidence to show that officer conduct was proper, was appropriate for the circumstances, and was legal. On the other hand, it is also the best evidence to show that there may be some misconduct. We believe, based on the evidence we've collected in our investigation, that there is some serious misconduct. There was a crime committed by Officer Robbins. I just quickly read through this report. It states that there was a forcible or atrocious felony which would justify the shooting. I'm familiar with the facts preceding this case. There was a report of a gunfire a few blocks away. No one was shot. There isn't even sufficient evidence to establish that Kenneth Ross was the responsible suspect. He was a suspect in dreadlocks, no different than the young man that spoke to you this afternoon, Austin. When Austin is 5 or 6 years older than he is today, he will become another one of those suspects that can be shot down simply because he had some dreadlocks and running through Rowley Park. I ask the City Council to please order the release of the videos. Mayor, I respect what you said. I know you'll follow through and release it. What I'd like, if we can, is an estimated time of when those videos will be released. Thank you very much.
Okay, the next speaker is Mateo Nagasi. After that, it'll be Phil Johnson.
Yeah, hi, my name is Mateo. I'm with Black Lives Matter Los Angeles. And I just find it ironic how the video was always the last to be set free. It's the video. It's the video. It's the video. It's the video. You release this, which is a total character assassination. So I don't get how you can release this and not the video. The video is a visual where we can see the truth. This is just reports from police officers, approved by police officers, put together by police officers. So I don't agree that they're fine men and women in uniform. I agree that the fine men and women in uniform are covering for the absolute rotten apples that are in and everywhere around this police department and every other one in Los Angeles and California for that matter. Those are the facts. So I implore you to release that video. Not for just for the family, but for the public. We want to know what we're dealing with. We want to know what kind of killers are out there hunting our kids. Because the simple fact is, black boys are more profiled than any other demographic, and that includes black men. So if you don't know that, that's something you need to know. And they are perceived by non-black officers as being much older than white kids of the same age. So again, you need to release the video.
Okay, next is Phil Johnson. After that is Antoinette Bailey.
For the record, Jackson. Sorry for my poor penmanship. I'm here in support for the family of Kenneth Ross Jr. Reasonable force. From all the facts that I've read, nothing in that was reasonable. If we believe in the law, if we believe in the justice system that we have in place, which that's a whole other conversation, but if we believe in that, why aren't we allowing our civilians to actually go through that process? Having cops be killers first, be murderers first, be shooting first, asking questions later, covering up whatever they want us to do afterwards isn't believing in the law that we have. So I'm here to see that video get released, that the actual justice will be met, and this family will have some peace of mind, because for this last year, his name it gets dragged through the mud, his character gets defiled, and hopefully in the police's eyes, by the time the video maybe gets released, people have forgotten about it, because that's not what happens. There'll be another Kenneth Ross Jr. that someone will have to protest about, and there'll be another one after that. And without actually stopping the cycle, this is going to continue. So we really need that footage out there so people can do the right thing about it. Thank you.
Okay, next is Antoinette Bailey, and then John Williams.
Hello. My name is Antoinette Bailey. I'm here with Black Lives Matter Los Angeles in solidarity with the families of Kenneth Ross Jr. I'm going to say things that have already been spoken, but we are asking that the video be released, especially in accordance with SB 1421, which mandates that videos be released. You can say things with words, right? We see the police report, but we know who's in control of that. We know that words can be very impressionable in terms of who's saying what, and we're asking for objective accountability. If what happened was the way that people acted with what was given, then we'll see that through the video. We'll see that through what happened. But again, if someone was acting out of policy, out of character, then that needs to be released. And if you have nothing to hide, then why haven't the videos released? Again, we're asking for a timeline. We're asking that we know when these things are going to happen, so we're not just sitting here waiting. And again, this matter gets swept under the rug. Think about what would happen if it were your family, if you were your son, your brother. That's it.
Next is John Williams, and then after that is Crystal Torrey.
Jan Williams, with Black Lives Matter Los Angeles. And although I understand you're not responsible for the report that Jackie Lacey's office may have sent over here, I take issue with the first paragraph where they say that Officer Robbins acted in lawful self-defense in an effort to arrest a dangerous fleeing felon. Kenneth Ross Jr. was not a felon, and the person who should be the felon is Officer Robbins. And if he was running toward and hunting down Kenneth Ross, he was not using self-defense. He was hunting Kenneth Ross Jr. down. It was not self-defense. I raised my son in the city until he was about 10 years old. I worked in the city for about 20 years. And to know that an officer who conducted themselves like Officer Robbins did, it makes me cringe every time I see a Gardena police car come near me in my neighborhood. You guys should immediately fire him. Don't be like Jackie Lacey. We know that Jackie Lacey is afraid and is complicit and is culpable. What's the word? Culpable? With these murders, over 520 people have been killed in LA County under her leadership. That's a lot of officers who have not been held accountable because she refuses to prosecute them. That does not mean that you as the city of Gardena want to continue to employ officers who conduct themselves in the manner that Officer Robbins did on a day at 3 o'clock in the afternoon when he used an assault rifle, a military-grade rifle, inside Raleigh Park where my son used to play basketball. What if one of those little kids would have gotten hit? That was reckless endangerment, and Robbins is the one who should be described as the felon here, not Kenneth Ross.
So next is Crystal Torrey. Sir, if you want to hold your sign up, you have to be on the side to hold it up. We can't have you blocking anybody else's view. After Crystal Torrey, we have Jeremy White.
Hello, good evening. I'm here supporting Fuzia Amaru, who is Kenneth Ross's mother. I've known Kenneth since he was 5 years old, and I also take I just have a real problem with the bias report that states that he was a dangerous fleeing felon. Kenneth was never convicted of any felonies, and that means that the officer just targeted him. And there was no, he wasn't even for sure if Kenneth was part of the crime that was reported on the radio or whatever. And Kenneth was not dangerous. He was an older brother to 4 sisters and 1 little brother. He was very kind-hearted and compassionate. He was his mother's protector. And now she's going to live the rest of her life without her son in grief. She will never be able to move on. All she can do is go forward in pain, hurting, and she's very sad. And you guys are up here with stoic, cold faces. And if the officer is not punished, then more officers will just keep doing this to other black boys, which is a big problem all across America. And so I grew up in Torrance, and Gardena police should make an example and do the right thing and at least make sure he's not on the force and not able to work and kill any more black men. Thank you.
Next is Jeremy White, and then after that is Painier.
Hello. So a lot of us have taken a break from the Torrance City Council, where we've been standing for Christopher DeAndre Mitchell and his family. And it's definitely a different vibe. You know, you've got the smiley police officers here handing you pamphlets and stuff. But knowing that there's an officer out there who murdered Kenneth with an assault rifle, who's still walking the streets, who's still working these communities, is terrifying. And all the smiley cops in the world won't cover that. I guess that doesn't deserve attention, but yeah. So I just wanted to kind of to bring that to the forefront here. That you know, hearing the fear of the family earlier during the press conference, saying that they don't even know where this guy is. He could be here right now. So I think that, you know, the video needs to be released as was discussed, and that officer, if found out of policy, needs to be prosecuted. Thank you.
Next is it's either Painier or Parker.
Yes, it's
Parker, okay.
Hi. So I'd just like to first apologize to the mother for what the lady said. It was very insensitive. Kenneth's life is not dramatic, but you're treating...
Excuse me, ma'am. Everything you say needs to be directed to
well,
counsel.
I would like to address the mother and apologize for what the lady said about us being here, and that's exactly why Black Lives Matter is a thing, because our lives are not dramatic. They are important and more important than a tree. So you guys passed out Choose Civility. And first it says, treat everyone courteously. We were not treated courteously when we first arrived here by these officers in the building. It says, listens to others respectfully. I hope that everyone sitting here is listening respectfully to our wishes and understand that we have a lot to say, and our feelings are valid, and the mother's feelings are valid, and her concerns to see the video is valid. Next, you have exercise self-control. Did those officers exercise self-control when they took the life of Kenneth Ross Jr.? Lastly, you have give open-minded consideration to all viewpoints. Be open-minded to the viewpoint of the mother who lost her young son at the hands of police officers who we pay to protect us. And Mayor, we pay you to serve us. So please serve us by making it urgent to show that video and treat the officer accordingly to what a life deserves. Thank you.
Okay, and our last speaker is Ms. Valerie Rivera.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Valerie Rivera, and I am also the mother of Eric Rivera, who was wrongfully murdered by 2 very negligent and incompetent LAPD officers 2 years ago. So I stand here today in support of Kenneth Ross's mother and his family, and I'm glad to hear that you guys will be releasing anything that you guys have on Kenneth's death, because God forbid another death happens like that in this city, where these videos get held from the families, because it's vital. That's her child on that video. That's her baby on that video. And if the cops have that video, the family should have that video. So that needs.
Okay, ma'am, finish your statement because your time is up.
Last month, I made a complaint at Gardena Police Department there was a shooting that occurred, and a man had got killed by Gardena Police last month. I just want to put again on record, I made a huge complaint. I filed a complaint against the Gardena Police Department. So I just want to put it on record again. After that shooting had occurred, I went to the scene and I walked up to the spot where the guy got shot. And this was like 5 minutes after the yellow tape went down. All the police officers, all the detectives have already left the scene. And the guy's blood was still on the sidewalk. And I cannot believe that the department didn't clean up this person's blood on this sidewalk. And they opened up the city for people to walk through it. I mean, it was a hazard. It's a hazardous material, and the department failed to do their job properly and make sure that they clean up that scene correctly. So I filed a complaint. From my understanding, it takes about 45 days to get a response back. I'm looking forward to hearing from that response because it's important, and I hope that they never make that mistake again, because you know how horrible that must be for families to come to a site where their loved one just got shot down and murdered by the hands of people that are supposed to protect and serve, to see their blood on the sidewalk, to see, it was just so disrespectful to not only the family, to the person that gets their life taken away, but to the city and to the community. So I just want to also put that on record that, I'm going to go ahead and end this, but thank you.
Okay, thank you. So next, ma'am, you're going to have to quiet down. Next, we're going to have to move on.
And they said just because they noticed his face that they're arresting him. That's what the officer said, because he notices his face.
Okay, I'm going to request that the group speaking out and yelling from the audience cease and desist. Everyone has a right to be heard tonight, so everyone has had their chance to speak, and you may not speak out of turn or out from the audience, so please, at this time, I'm asking to stop. Okay, so we need to move on to item number 8A1. Okay, you guys are in violation of the rules of order. You're out of order, disrupting our meeting, and you need to wait your turn to speak. If you do not stop interrupting, you'll be asked to leave the council. You're in violation of the rules of order. You're out of order, disrupting our meeting, and you will be ejected from the city council meeting in order to leave. I want to be clear that you guys are being ejected from the city council meeting, and you're ordered to leave. If you do not leave, I will be clearing the council chamber pursuant to Government Code 54957.9. I want the record to reflect that you guys are refusing to leave. You're disrupting our meeting, and you're interrupting with the business of the city council. I'm ordering the council chambers to be cleared at this time pursuant to Government Code 54957.9. Everyone must leave the council chambers immediately.
Mayor Serta will take a recess for
We're going to take a
15
5-minute
minutes.
recess.